Fried dinosaurs, isn't it? And it says we're live.
Yeah, lies.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's another day, and you can get a free wind bone look today. Just walk outside.
No kidding.
We have a southern wind that is, well, it's not the normal Texas standards, but it's close.
It is for the panhandle, but we're not in the panhandle.
Yeah.
Well, the author copies from it came from a trailer park showed up. Damn. It came from the trailer park.
It's a bit of a thick book.
Damn.
And if you're really good today, Ian might do a reading or
Nope.
at least part of the story.
Nope.
Come on.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Oh, well, let's see what to start with today. I guess the interesting one is the police chief in Ottawa retiring all of a sudden or resigning.
No. I've been told by Facebook fact checkers that no Ottawa Canadian police have been acquitting.
Yeah, right.
It's disinformation or misinformation or yeah, Facebook fact checkers, man.
Yeah, fact check this. Read between the lines. The other interesting thing is Trudeau has gone full commie.
Oh, woo!
Probably,
He's taking after his alleged daddy, something fierce.
Yeah, probably over the top, actually. Invoking emergency powers, which have never been invoked.
Ever.
Well, they claim they were invoked back in the 70s to put down a riot.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, that's true. The peanut gallery just said they were invoked in Quebec years ago, which is why Quebec wants nothing to do with it. Yes, RK, they will be more than happy to sign.
We will be we will be autographing also. Well, I can't speak for Cedar, but I will be happily autographing a whole bunch of stuff.
RK, neither works for her. Anything that's a nut-based wood, she is allergic to.
Hickory mesquite is fine.
Oh, it is?
Yep.
Now you tell me.
Yep, pecan and walnut are right out. So.
Oh, pecan and walnut. Okay.
Hickory or mesquite, we can work with this.
Yeah.
We can work with this.
I'm not allergic to barbecue, just certain wood.
She says indignantly, I am not allergic to barbecue, just certain woods.
There is also a report that I saw this morning that apparently some of the heavy equipment over at Cuts has been, if not disabled, at least screwed with majorly, including cutting power hoses.
Oh, damn.
And electric cables.
Or air hose. Don't touch air hoses. That's bad.
Yeah. I still want to see that idiot go ahead and try to puncture a tractor trailer tire and walk away in one piece.
He can puncture it. He's only walking away from the deal.
Well, I think it's a she.
Yeah, it's
in
a she.
either case, yeah.
It's apparently Obama's deputy intelligence something or other did a tweet about how they just needed to go by and start puncturing tires.
Yeah.
100
tires.
120 psi out through a knife puncture is interesting to watch.
Steph, the report, and again, I don't know if it's valid, but they say it was possibly either law enforcement or someone on that side.
Oh, by the way, I have received a third story for the Malta anthology from our very own Tuvula T. That's a good little story. Y'all enjoy this one. Tuvula can write. That's a good little story. I was impressed.
Yeah. So far we've gotten some. I say you have gotten some interesting stories, at least the ones you shared with me.
Well, the ones I've seen so far are.
Oh, the police admitted doing it?
Oh, wow.
Oh, shit.
I've got Kelly Grayson turned one in, Jim's turned one in, and Tuvula's turned one in. So right now I'm on 3. I haven't checked the the actual anthology email because I've been told to keep my Richard beaters out of it. Apparently, I tend to get a little manic.
A little.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We'll go with a little for now.
Chris pointed out something that on message just a second ago, asking if he was the only one that was hoping to see the American nationals who gave up their American citizenship so they could compete for China in the Olympic Games, hoping to see them faceplant.
One of them has.
The ice skater has. Now, Elaine, the freestyle ski thingy,
Yeah, whatever that is.
whatever the hell that is, has nothing to do with military, so I'm not sure why it belongs to the Olympics. Has yet to face plant, but I can hope.
Yeah.
Because apparently both of them did indeed renounce their American citizenship.
That's still questionable.
Yeah, well, apparently you cannot. China will not let you compete on their national team if you have dual citizenship.
Yeah. Well, I did note last night that the former Canadian, who is now an American citizen, won the single person bobsled for the females. She took gold again.
Oh, wow.
And basically was very, very proud to wave an American flag.
Good.
So that, and apparently has made rather pointed comments about the Canadians and the training that she received or didn't receive. Al Brennan, you wouldn't do that because as soon as you did that, your wife would be sending body parts of yours to them.
Hello, Don. Yeah, I can understand wanting to compete in the Olympic Games because for an athlete, the Olympic Games are it. If you're an amateur athlete, the Olympic Games are up there, even for some professionals.
Yeah.
Competing in the Olympic Games is wow. That's hitting the gold ring.
Yeah.
But to renounce your citizenship so that you can compete for a communist a communist regime that's busy violating civil rights left, right, and center, is proud about it and is getting set to gobble up an independent neighbor. To renounce your American citizenship to go compete for them sets my teeth on edge.
Yeah. There are a number of people that have done that in the past. Most of them, however, came this way to get away from communist regimes.
Well, and competing for another country is nothing new, but normally it's dual citizenship.
Yeah.
And I don't care if an American wants to go compete on the Finnish national team, go forth and send no more. I wish you the best. If you want to go compete for anybody that's not an evil bunch of overlord ass wizards with some really kinky sexual fantasies and sticky fingers, I got issues with that.
Long pig fried rice. No, Jesse.
No, I never got the pleasure of tearing down Duke's Neff tires because I always had to repair thrown tracks. I would rather repair 2 Deuce and a half truck tires than friggin' thrown tracks on an M3.
I have had the pleasure of doing that many years ago in a fire truck. When we left, we had all red rims. When we got back 4.5 days later, we had one red rim left and everything else was green. That's what happens when you inadvertently park on a palmetto stump that's still burning and it blows out 4 tires at a time.
But
and you're getting flashover from the pine trees that are burning over the top of you.
No.
Yeah, that was an interesting day at work.
But no, I've had no. Having had I had a driver one time that had a nasty habit of throwing track, and we got that fixed. Well, the throwing track. We actually had to. The second time I had to go out and fix track, we had to come to Jesus meeting.
They stapled
What?
the label to the folded tube.
To the inner tube?
Oh
Oh, for
God.
God's sake.
Well, it's military.
Oh, for God's sake.
Yeah. Yeah. Things happen. Yeah, agreed, Sean. There's
I said I don't have an issue with American, England, Finland, Switzerland, Italy, Malta. I don't have an issue. If you want to go over and compete for them, Montenegro, for God's sake. If you want to go pad out their Olympic roster, I don't have an issue with that.
well, we see it in basketball where the NBA players go back and represent their home country.
I have an issue with that because they're professionals, and professionals should have no part in Olympics.
Well, everybody else is using professionals. Why couldn't we?
Somebody needs to do it right.
Yeah. Which would mean we'd never win another
Yep.
hockey game or a basketball game.
I don't know. We stomped the Russians quite nicely in the 80s.
Yeah, 1980, but that was pure friggin' luck.
No, that was a stomping.
Yeah, it was pure friggin' luck. I watched that as a young sailor.
Yeah, I don't. Again, maybe I wasn't clear. I don't agree with the renouncing citizenship to compete with somebody else. No, I really don't agree with renouncing citizenship to go work for a bunch of ass weasels.
Yeah.
If you want to go over there and compete without giving up your citizenship, that's fine.
Yeah.
As long as it's a civilized or halfway civilized country.
Yeah. We did beat China 8-0 this year. Well, I haven't really been watching it, so
I've watched it all.
um,
I decided that when the Olympics started sidelining my favorite events, the modern pentathlon, which I love the modern pentathlon. But it involves icky guns.
Yeah.
And the simple fact it was it's the one sport, one competition in the Olympics that's been there since day one of the new Olympics.
Yeah.
Since the modern Olympics started, military pentathlon or modern pentathlon's been in there. It's one of the original ones. And it's got icky guns in it. So they do it at 2 a.m, for God's sake.
well, and that not only that, but it's now lightweight 22s.
No, it's lasers.
Oh, then
They went to lasers.
what?
Yep. They've got an air fired, it uses compressed air to simulate recoil and a computer delay to simulate exiting the barrel. And it's a laser. Yeah,
I want them to go back to military weapons.
It should be 32 Smith & Wesson long at the smallest.
Yeah.
And then the biathlon, which I love.
Yeah.
Shoot a Nazi. Ski, shoot a communist. Ski, shoot a Nazi.
Yeah.
I love biathlon. Guess what's on at 2 a.m. again?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've heard that, Sarah. I have not had a chance to dig into what Remington did or didn't settle for.
Is it Remington or whatever
It was Remington.
or whoever is handling their bankruptcy?
Yeah. Well, Remington got bought by
Multiple different folks.
yeah, RK. It's pretty stupid on Remington's part.
Again, it may have been court ordered. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, I don't know if it was court ordered or whether the owners decided to settle through the goodness of their hearts.
So to get it off their back so they get
Yeah.
rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it may have been court ordered. It may have been may have been one of those things you got to do because you don't have a choice.
Yeah. Speaking of which, who's the Brit that was hooked up with one of Epstein's girls?
Ghislaine Maxwell,
Now the Brit guy.
Prince Randy Andy,
Yeah, Andy.
Prince Andrew.
Yeah, he's apparently settled with the somehow or the other they've settled out of court with the girl.
What the? Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh, 73 million. Ouch.
Damn.
Yeah,
I didn't realize they had that much to piss away.
yeah. Well, it's
Bad
a
precedent.
conglomerate, so who knows how
Bad
much.
precedent.
Yeah.
Really bad precedent. Not happy about that. But done
Prince
is done.
Andrew, yeah.
Randy Andy.
So he's apparently settled, which is kind of interesting because I thought it was a criminal charge,
Yeah, it
not
is.
a.
It is. It was very definitely a criminal charge.
Yeah.
So he paid her to, or paid somebody to withdraw the complaint.
Yeah.
I guess I'll have to research that.
Yeah. I saw that just before I left to come over here.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yes, we do have a new quilt.
Again, if you want to support Live from Blanket Fort,
Yeah.
buy the quilt.
Yeah.
The address is right here. It's one of Jana's, and
They're all Jonas.
yeah, it's one of Jana's. So buy this.
That one's 95.
What?
I didn't hear that.
I
That
hear.
one's 95.
Oh, $95?
$95.
$95. This could be yours.
Jona's former dress when she was 9 years old.
9th grade.
Oh,
No,
ninth
ninth grade.
grade. Sorry.
Sean, my little lady's been following this because she has a, well, I don't want anyone near a royal with a knife, but she's been following this, and apparently, Queen Liz II said that he would be returning to the States to stand trial as a private citizen.
Yeah.
So extradition was moot. Mama said you're going. And
Yep.
when Mama has, well, the entire British Isles in her pocket, you go.
Ah, okay, Dawn. For those of you that looked at the comment and have no idea what the hell we're talking about, there's a young lady that needs surgery.
It's an Easter quilt.
Up in Colorado, and we've been trying to help her out a little bit. They did a dinner with soups for Valentine's Day, and there have been some donations made by various people to her surgery.
Oh, look.
Oh, joy.
We got
Another
a
troll.
spammer. Bye.
All right.
Now click on the three buttons.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Damn it. You don't want to give me the three buttons. There it is.
No, that's
Get
Farm
over
Girl.
it.
That's Farm Girl.
Whoops. Damn it.
You can't get rid of the guy anymore? What the hell?
There we go.
There we go. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye, spammer.
The name translates to bad tomato. Yeah. I would never ban you, Farm Girl.
Well,
You know where I live.
point.
Yeah.
She feeds us sometimes.
Damn good food. Just run the road. Submarine crew. Yeah. Yeah,
Glove,
probably
glove,
probably
I'm
the guys that were in that Charlie that we chased that night, Pappy. No, that was an interesting. We were never supposed to let the Russians know that we knew where they were. And we were chasing a Charlie, which is an older boat. And they had a bad tendency to porpoise and inadvertently broach to the surface.
That's suboptimal for a submarine.
Yeah, so we're out tracking this guy. And all of a sudden, AWs in the back go, we think he's coming up. And we're down low. And it's more or less a moonless night. And it's like, ah, shit. Climb, pilot. Find a cloud. Get us the hell out of here.
Grenades away.
So that was a rather interesting climb out in the middle of the night. And I shall move to Montana, Mary, Lord.
I knew as soon as he said that he had the life expectancy of an asthmatic fruit fly.
Yeah. And the boat did breach. And we happened to be in a position where the flight station at least saw it come up and then go back down. And then
Again, you'd think for a submarine that would be less than.
the Russian submarines had some interesting problems depending on which class it was. The Charlie was the follow of the Echo 2, which then became the Victor 1, Victor 2, Victor 3. So yeah, there was some interesting problems.
It's talking about the problems with Russian submarines. There's a throwaway line in my Astro Lizard story about my dad watching one of our launches. For those of you who don't know, Chris and I back in the 70s, but you have to buy the coloring book. But we wound up packing black powder into bamboo and using them as rockets. And during one of our tests, the bamboo, we lit it, and the bamboo went down the street in front of the bungalow, cartwheeling end for end. And my dad is drinking coffee, goes, Russian design. And I didn't realize at the time how funny that was until I researched the Russian space program later. That was actually kind of funny.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, June is going to be the bone graft. How the hell are they classifying cleft palate as friggin' cosmetic? Really?
Insurance,
yeah. God damn it.
Y'all need to talk Chris into coming on and actually making some comments on this thing.
Yeah. Naval Architects, yes. They did do a bad job. At least they didn't do like the Spanish and build a submarine that was only going to submerge once because they didn't have enough ballast to get it back up.
Oh,
that was a brand new submarine.
That's a crew that damn.
Yeah. Yeah, John. It's Obamacare writ large. That's, yes.
Well, the Saturday before the Hand Egg Festival, Cedar and I were talking, coloring books and all. We are not going to do coloring books of law enforcement, period. It's not going to happen, folks.
Yeah.
However, on down the way, once Cedar gets done with the next one, which is lizards, might start seeing what y'all want to see next. If we're making good money off these coloring books, I don't mind.
Well, the next one's got to be the pink gorilla.
No law enforcement. No law enforcement.
Pink gorilla.
Nope.
That's not law enforcement. That's humor.
It was a raid on a meth lab. Of course, it's law enforcement. No law
it's
enforcement.
Humor.
African stories. No pink gorilla. But if y'all let us later on, after the next book gets out, because Cedar's going to need some breathing space. What y'all would like to see next? I figure Squeaker Saga, but don't put me on that.
Exactly, RK.
No. No. Nope.
Oh.
I'm not sure how you do the Hand Egg Festival in comic book, coloring book, honestly.
Damn it, I forgot to bring that one in. There is a graphic novel now about the destroyers at the Battle of Samar in World War II.
Okay.
It is friggin' fantastic. It was done by the author of the original book in conjunction with a graphic artist.
Oh, wow.
And it is amazingly well done. The bonus page for the gorilla suit.
Yeah, there's a couple of stories of flying.
Yeah.
There's it's Bob the Not Russian and the chimpanzee. There's when we first flew. There's a couple of flying ones, and I could probably add some more. But again, this is not something we need to do right now. It's something that after Cedar's had some breathing space, once the lizard one is done, we might see what y'all, because y'all are the ones buying it. Y'all are the ones kicking up money. So we might check and see what y'all are getting set to would pay for.
It's called The Last Stand of the Tin Can Sailors by James D. Hornfisher.
Hornfisher. Is that the graphic novel?
Yeah.
Because it's off of Naval Institute Press. I wasn't sure. Oh, it is.
Yeah. James D. Hornfisher, Doug Murray, and Steve Sanders. And it is very, very, very well done.
Graphic novel adaptation.
Yep.
Wow. If Cedar winds up unemployed, I'm probably going to have her doing a lot of coloring books.
Yeah.
Because authors need to eat too.
Yep. Oh.
I should never ever have written a Pink Gorilla Suit story. I really shouldn't. I should have kept that one. That one should have friends only. Verbal and friends only.
That one kind of got away from you in more ways than one.
They, yep, they stuffed
Oh.
Pinky. Oh, skinned. They skinned Pinky.
Buster gets the fighting rooster. Yeah.
Still law enforcement, not doing law enforcement.
Yeah.
They skinned Pinky.
Oh, speaking of authors and writing,
Oh,
another
good. Oh, good. Let's do a writing. Let's do a writing one this time.
another friend of ours. Sorry, Cedar. Casey Ezell is now starting to do a weekly podcast or live stream or
Oh, well done.
YouTube
Well done.
talking about writing. She is getting ready to retire from the Army as a helicopter pilot after 23 years. So she's pretty damn good at what she does to have lasted 23 years.
Yeah.
And she did her first one on Saturday night. I didn't find out about it until yesterday, damn it. But very well done. And she talks about some of the books that are coming and what's going to happen with her after she retires. She's an excellent writer.
Right.
Yeah. She's written for Baen. She's also was an editor for a couple of books for Baen, and the second one's coming out here shortly.
What's the name of her podcast?
Ah, shit. She's got her own channel. Just look up Casey Ezell.
Ezelle, I think.
Yeah.
KC. Kilo Charlie.
She's a lot of fun. Should say happy birthday to Bridget.
Oh, Our Lady of Hate.
Yes.
Bridget Cree is having a birthday today. Y'all need to, if you have Facebook or anything, tell her happy birthday.
Yeah.
We love Bridget. She's a great lady.
Yep. We never had a birthday party for her.
Nope. We've had a couple of cakes delivered though.
Cakes just happened to show up, not necessarily birthday cake.
Pretty sure I was gonna have to wind up dodging a chunk of cake that one year.
Yes. The Taffy 3 sailors definitely clanked when they walked. I had the pleasure of meeting one of them on an airplane, oh God, 10 years ago now. He had been a gunner's mate on one of the boats, Taffy 3, and got a commission and ended up in Korea as a CO of a destroyer as a lieutenant commander. And he's the one that took the destroyer in the Incheon, which was supposed to be impossible.
If there wasn't a yeehaw from the bridge as they did that, I'm really seriously disappointed.
Apparently, there was a warrant driving an LC,
Warrant officer, that's all you had to say.
one of the landing craft,
That's all you had to
that
say.
actually let him in because apparently the channel was supposed to be too shallow.
There was a warrant officer. That's
Yeah.
all he had to say.
And apparently he got in there and it was like, okay, we're here for 24 hours, so start shooting something.
World's biggest pillbox just mounted up in your harbor.
Yeah. Well, they did the same thing at D-Day. There
Oh,
were
the-
destroyers 500 yards off the beach.
Well, there was the USS Texas,
Yeah.
the Grim Eater,
Yeah.
which she ran Winchester on all of her ammo, went back, got more. When she got back, the front lines had moved too far, so the Texas moved inshore.
Yeah.
And discovered it was still too far. And then I'm willing to bet some warrant officer said, "Let's flood all the pods on the offhand side."
Yeah.
So they filled all the pod and tilted, gangster leaned the battleship so they get more range.
Yeah, Richard, the destroyer apparently was in the mud for quite a few hours and then went back the next high tide.
And I'm so happy that last I heard, unless this has changed, last I heard Texas A&M at Galveston is redoing the Texas.
Yeah.
And
apparently we've created a monster with our comments the other night because now that's going
What?
to show up.
what?
Apparently somebody's going to be writing that story
What story? What story? What?
about the USS Texas and the Aggies.
Oh God. Oh.
Sea
Sea
Aggies,
Aggies,
yes.
Texas TAMUG, Texas A&M University at Galveston. It's actually on Pelican Island.
Thank
Nice.
you, Richard. We appreciate your mentioning us.
What?
He mentioned us. Apparently she was on the same time Cedar was the other night
I'm confused.
on the blog, on the podcast or live stream. Because Cedar does a live stream on
Right.
Friday night,
Oh, okay.
which is Saturday night in Japan.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
Because Brussels is NATO headquarters.
Yeah.
And NATO is fixing to get really spicy.
Yeah.
If I remember right, isn't Poland part of NATO now?
Yep.
Doesn't Poland butt up against, I
Ukraine.
was going to say, one little country? Yeah.
Austin's going over there to try to cover his butt. That's
I don't think there's enough cloth in the Eastern Hemisphere to cover that butt.
yeah, he's going to suck up and probably order the 3-star that's supposed to be running things that he is not to go in and rescue any Americans.
That's pretty standard.
Well, actually, no, it's not. Because up until Afghanistan, if there were Americans in danger, somebody went and got them.
My ass.
Most of the time, it was the Marines.
My ass.
Why?
I know for a fact in Africa in the 70s, they didn't come get you. You were on your own.
Well, okay. That I'm aware of from my time in the military, they went and got them.
Oh, these are military folks.
Military or civilian.
Civilians were kind of on their own.
They evacuated more than one embassy in Africa. I know that.
Embassies are a whole
Yeah.
different. If you're an expat on your own out in the
Yeah.
bush, you're screwed.
Sure, Nancy.
Yes, Biden rejecting the Afghanistan report.
Yeah.
That was interesting. For those of you who don't know, DOD or Army was it DOD or
Army.
Army?
Army supported by DOD.
Released an after-action report that I was somewhat shocked. Did not paint themselves in a good light. Didn't paint America in a good light in regards to the Afghanistan evacuation. Wasn't as scathing as the one I would have written, but they actually, they came right out and said we screwed the pooch.
Yep.
And then the apparently National Command Authority, aka the FICUS, said he rejects it.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure how that works.
Yep. That's going to be interesting. The other interesting part is when he went to New York City, evacuation instead of debacle. Well, 6 of one, half
It
does
was
the
a
other.
full-on debacle.
He trotted out the standard standard anti-gun bullshit again, and apparently us gun-owning, legal gun owners who obey the laws are now the underground in the U.S.
Oh.
And we are
We
the
got promoted.
yeah, we got promoted.
Used to be we were deplorables. Now
Yeah.
we're the underground. I'm
Yeah.
I'm the underground.
Terrorists next week.
Next week will be terrorists. Okay.
Yeah. And he said there when the Second Amendment was put in place, there was no way you could own any gun you wanted, including a cannon. Well,
Okay.
a couple of us went and looked it up, and there were a number of ads for cannons in the 1700s where you could buy a friggin' cannon.
Listed in the Constitution
Yes.
when it was written was one of the duties of the Congress of the United States was issuing letters of marque and reprisal. For those of you who don't know, a letter of marque says if you're holding a letter of marque and you have a ship, you get to be a legal pirate. Your letter of marque will have a list of countries or antagonistic powers where you have free reign to rampage through their shipping. In order to rampage through anybody's shipping with a ship, you need to have some method of making them pull over, or whatever the hell the nautical term is. In other words, cannon. In order to successfully execute your letter of marque, you need to have cannon on your warship.
Yeah. Yeah, we were known as the pirates back in the day.
Oh, speaking of Canada, has anybody heard that Fidel Castro's illegitimate son, allegedly, has threatened to lock down the bank accounts of any protesters?
Yes.
Yeah. That's if they wanted if the truckers really wanted to put this to them,
Get COVID
no, just go home, park the trucks,
and get COVID.
and get COVID.
I've got COVID. I can't.
Yeah. Yeah. Swivel guns were an interesting artifact of the times. I will just say it.
It's a giant shotgun. It's a giant pinhole-mounted shotgun.
Yeah.
But in order, if you have a letter of marque or letter of reprisal, in order to execute said letter that you've just paid a congressman to get you, you have to be able to make ships pull over.
Yeah.
You don't make ships pull over with a kazoo.
Yeah.
You have to go one across the bow. All right. So you have to have cannons.
Yeah. That's interesting. Sending folks home who support protesters on social media. Yeah.
Yeah, they're sending police, and they're being very Canadian about it.
Yeah.
They've printed up these pamphlets on quote how to protest peacefully, and if you have given any financial support to the protest to the truckers, they will show up at your home, knock on your door, and hand you one of these pamphlets.
Okay. So the question is, when are we going to get a blockade in DC?
Have you seen the? No, you haven't. I-75 or I-95. I saw a video this morning of a line of trucks two abreast going up one of the East Coast interstates at 5 miles an hour.
No, that was 95. I can guarantee you it was 95.
Well, and it was at least a mile of trucks,
Oh boy.
and they were just creeping along.
Yeah. If it was any road on the east, it'd be 95 because that's the major north-south.
Anyway, there's a metric butt ton of truckers two abreast, or however wide I-95 is, at 5 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's it. And since Pappy is on the East Coast, normal traffic, yeah.
Yeah, but it's nut to butt 18-wheelers, which I don't think is normal traffic there.
We're planning the blockade for March.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, RK, you're right. 95 is either warp speed or 5 miles an hour. Yeah. parking lot is putting it mildly. The problem is that, you know, the traffic jam starts about down at Quantico, which is, well, about 25 miles south of the Beltway.
I thought this was in South Carolina heading north.
Yeah, but I'm saying the normal day, it starts at Quantico, which is 25, 26 miles south. And it's bumper to bumper all the way to the Beltway. And then wherever you're going around the Beltway or in 395 from all sides, 66 out west. It's a cluster, which is why they have slugs, which is DC is the only area I know of that has slugs. And what they are is people who will ride in a car just so they get in the HOV lane.
Oh, I thought it was this thing you put the saucer of beer out.
No, but it's funny because people will slug in the morning and then slug home in the afternoon. And there are literally places around the Pentagon in DC where people will go line up and cars will pull up, you jump in the car and away you go, just so you can get in the HOV lane.
I thought that was carpooling.
Most of the time, yes, but carpools, you usually know who you're riding with.
Oh,
Sluggers, you don't know who the hell you're picking up, and you don't know what car you're getting into. The first car that pulls up, you jump in and go.
guns. Lots of guns.
Northern Virginia, yes. If you're going into DC, not so much.
Lots of guns. I'm not getting in a stranger's car without guns.
But that's, you know, and the only place I've ever seen or heard of it is in DC. Fredericksburg, holy shit.
It's an interesting way for the free market to beat HOV lanes.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. And I don't want to get in a stranger's car, and I don't want a stranger in mine without guns.
Yeah.
Lots of guns.
Yeah, Sean, they're basically cross between hitchhikers and carpoolers. Fredericksburg, God, that's 50-mile traffic jam every morning.
RK66 had just posted all these years, never had a slug cause a problem. It only takes one.
Yeah.
All these years, I've never had a fire in my kitchen, but I've got a fire extinguisher in there anyway.
Yeah. Yes, Cedar, it's a little windy up here.
Sanford just said that nobody's stranger than me, and I take that as a compliment.
Just remember, Sanford, when you're pointing, 3 fingers are pointing back at yourself.
I need to teach a class on blackjacks. Not the card game, the clubs. I need to teach a class on saps.
Yeah, Sarah, there are a lot of people that use it in DC, and you know, I mean, I had coworkers that used it both as a driver and as a passenger, and it works. You know, it's another way to do it. Yeah, we had, RK, you'll appreciate this. I had one coworker who worked for Spaywar when Spaywar was still in DC. His wife worked for Treasury. They bought a farm 30 miles west of Richmond. And for 2 years, they commuted from 30 miles west of Richmond into DC 5 days a week. They got up at 4 o'clock in the morning to make it to work by 8, and got home at 8 to 9 o'clock every night.
See, that's why I live out here.
Yeah.
Because that's some bullshit.
Well, I asked him, I said, why? He said, 2 years, we can do this. He said, it's our dream home. The wife is going to raise horses, Pasafinos.
That's an expensive race.
So about 5 years later, after he retired, I had to go down that way for something and went actually to go to Norfolk for a meeting. Coming back, I stopped by and saw him. And they were making, well, she was making a butt ton of money with Pasafino horses.
Mm-hmm.
And as he said, he says, I'm the truck driver. I got a trailer. I deliver the horses wherever she tells me to go. Tippy tippy pony, yeah. Right.
Oh, that snuck up on me. Okay.
Bless you.
Ugh. No, I don't.
Yeah, they're little bitty horses.
I don't even like the Metro Mess, the Texas DFW Metro Mess. I don't even like that. I'm a country boy, rural, and maybe suburban. We live 15 minutes away from the nearest big city,
Yeah.
which is 100,000 people or so. I'm not a city person.
Yeah. Well, for my sins, I've been stationed in basically San Francisco, LA, DC, Jacksonville.
Those must have been some pretty gnarly sins.
Yeah. Call being a sailor, never been able to get to New Orleans, damn it.
It snuck up on me. I hate when they do that.
Sean, that would be too perfect. uh, yeah.
I lived in Amarillo for a while and didn't mind that. Lived on the south part.
Yeah.
I didn't mind Amarillo. These days, I don't think so. I like a city between 5 and 15, or a town between 5 and 15,000 people away, at least 15 minutes away from anything 100, six figures or more.
Yeah, New Orleans is overrated, but it was fun back in the 60s and 70s. Yeah, road going from Hawaii to Tucson. Yeah, you got a little whiplash. I was also stationed in Hawaii, so yes, I know what you're talking about.
Dawn is feeling feisty today. Apparently, my sneeze reminds her of her dog.
Yeah. And her dog is different.
Oh, all of her dogs are different. I need a fair sized city for medical. I am of a certain age, so I need a city with a decent medical center. But I also need it to be at least 15 minutes away.
Yeah. 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 Moose is neurotic, so is he, and so we're good to go there. That's
I'm
a
not
match.
neurotic. I'm psychotic. Get it right.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, Sarah, you're still young enough that you like the city. You can have it.
Fort Bliss, population 41. What?
No, Raglan, New Mexico,
Oh, okay.
population 40.
Okay. I guarantee you, Fort Bliss ain't 41 people.
Yeah. There's a little town in Arkansas called Y City. The population varied between 3 and 6. It was 3 people and 1 to 3 dogs usually.
When I lived in Clarendon, Texas, which is an hour outside of Amarillo, that was almost perfect. If they had a decent aid station, I wouldn't mind it now, but they don't. But Clarendon doesn't have a decent aid station. They don't have any sort of hospital.
Yeah, we're at the age where we got to worry about things like that, RK.
50 minutes outside of Wichita Falls and 2 hours outside of the Metro Mess is just about perfect.
Oh, I missed the near. Sorry, Sarah.
What?
She said near the city is a ticket.
Oh,
yeah. Well, I consider 2 hours close enough to a big city.
Yeah.
Especially after last week.
Who were your great aunt and uncle? I'm gonna admit to something that I probably shouldn't. Clarendon is the original Buck Scuffle. Clarendon is where I first started as law enforcement. That was the original Buck Scuffle, Texas.
Yeah, Shepherd's not too bad. It's far enough away that we don't have to worry about it.
I never ran across Sadie and Carl.
Yeah. We get the occasional Germans or Italians or whatever the month is shopping in various locations.
Friggin' Saudis that one year was bad.
Yeah.
You know, we
Hey, Josh, you must be on night shift again.
several years back, the Saudi Air Force sent a bunch of their yin yangs through Shepherd, and that was interesting for a while.
Oh, sorry, Koala.
We don't change. Well, we don't usually.
Yeah. We're
Noon,
usually here the same time.
noon Central Standard on Tuesday and 3 Central Standard on Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah, the irony, talking about knowing people, is Ben English, who's a friend of mine, author, retired Texas DPS and author down in South Texas. And I probably knew his grandmother, although I didn't know who she was at the time.
Biblically?
His grandmother ran the trading post at Lajitas, Texas,
Oh, okay.
when I was going out spending summers on my uncle's ranch. And he vaguely remembers my aunt and uncle.
Ah,
But we actually traded longhorns with a rancher down in Mexico.
Hmm.
And we made the trade at Lajitas.
it's one of the decent crossings
Yeah.
at the
And
river.
just basically ran them across the river. And they ran a couple of cattle back across the river to us. We loaded them back up in the trailer and went back to the ranch. Yes, Ben English is an excellent writer.
I need to meet this guy.
And he has a new book coming out shortly about the DPS.
Oh, that'll be fun to read.
And he has had a number of problems writing it because of the number of flashbacks it's caused.
Well, not only that, but DPS going, no, not that one.
I think they're pretty much letting him write what he wants to write.
Woo.
But Ben is a former Marine sniper. Both of his kids made it through Naval Academy. Both of them have since timed out of the military. One son was a Harrier pilot and survived it, which is great. And the other son was a Marine following daddy. And Ben is probably one of the experts on the Big Bend area, considering that he grew up there and basically has continued to, yeah.
For those of you who were wondering about Jana's lanyards for ID at conventions, the terrorist colors, she's made several more.
12 bucks.
12 bucks. I am informed they are $12 each.
Yeah. So if you want to read some interesting stories, read Ben's. He's also put out some nonfiction. One of them is called Yondering, which talks about the Big Bend with a lot of maps down there that he personally made. And he's on Facebook, and he is posting pictures of some of the places where he has hiked with little stories behind them. And they're extremely interesting. And our case says, great lanyards.
Thank you.
She says thank you.
Yeah, put a lanyard clip and make it into a pistol lanyard. Yeah, you can do that.
I can do that.
I want to wear it at Toll College just to see if my bank account gets suddenly locked.
Well, since we're going to be terrorists next week, we might as well do that.
Yeah. And for those of you coming to Fools Con, I will be putting up the menu selections this week. And Cedar is gracious enough to run it through her PayPal again this year.
Well, Nancy says, sweet lanyards, if only I were actually attending a con in person. We will happily mail you one.
Yes, Josh, you could use it for your ID card at work too.
It might put you on a list, Josh. Just saying.
Yeah. Fools Con is going to be second weekend in April.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Damn. Okay. No problem.
I'm not ready for that.
All right. No problem. We can do this.
8th, 10 April.
Another list. Yay! I don't know about anybody else. I get annoyed when I fall off lists.
Yeah.
I worked hard to get on those lists.
What we're looking at is it'll be breakfast Saturday and Sunday.
Courtney's birthday.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Courtney, I already told you what we're going to do for you for your birthday.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. There's a food. May or may not be warm. No, Richard.
No.
Yeah.
April
April the 15th is a different fool's con.
Yeah, April 15th was really drinking
Heavily.
because I did my tax yesterday, and for the first time in 26 years, I'm having to pay the government. I don't understand that. I'm making considerably less per year now as retired than I was when I was working for the sheriff's office. But I'm paying money to the government. I'm just annoyed.
Yeah.
Really pissed off about the whole thing.
But the menu selection is going to be probably build your own burritos for breakfast. Supper on Saturday night will probably be either chicken fried steak or salad of your choice. Some people looked at the menu and wanted to go more expensive, and I went, yeah, no.
Nope.
Chicken fried steak is good. They do a good job with it.
Good comfort food.
Yeah. Yeah, April the 15th is definitely a Rico, Richard, no question.
Yeah, no kidding.
So anyway, I will get that up, and I'll put it up both in MeWe and also in Facebook.
Oh, apparently we're having gumbo on Friday night. I'm guessing Julian showing.
Julian and Dave Cleric, they're doing something.
Wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. We hadn't even finished breaking down, and they were already plotting for this.
No kidding. Oh, we had a wedding last year, and that really just 2 weddings.
Yeah.
2 weddings, buddy. We had 2 weddings. And that really seemed to kick things off.
It's not a con per se.
It's
just
not a con. It's all Fool's Con is friends getting together to laugh and have a good time.
Yeah. Yep. There is food.
And I was so drunk Saturday night this last year. I
We're going
was
to bring games and silly hats. So.
I was so drunk.
Uh,
One of my old chief deputy, my retired chief deputy, showed up, and Tully Roberts brought some Tullamore Dew, and I was so plotzed. Oh, I was plotzed.
yeah, it's
I was telling stories. Every time I stopped telling a story, I'd pick up my red Solo cup, and the level never went down.
it seems like you have a habit of doing that. But it's writers, shooters,
Friends,
law enforcement,
just people.
people.
People we never get to talk to at conventions because we're all too busy.
Yeah.
And there's going to be Cards Against Humanity marathons going on, Munchkin marathons going on. Probably have a one table with some D&D books, just for people to have fun.
Yeah. Spades game.
Yeah.
I want to play spades.
Me too.
Cutthroat spades.
Yes.
That's how I put.
Yeah.
You were a military kid. You don't know how to play spades?
It's been 30, 40 years. I need to
Oh.
be reminded.
When?
Spades is the national game of the U.S. Army.
Yeah, with the Navy, it's AC Deucey, and then spades, hearts, poker.
So AC/DC is what we play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a set.
Exploding Kittens and Unstable Unicorns.
Yes, she's got those two.
What the hell is that?
A lot of fun.
Okay.
Better when you're drunk.
Yeah, if in the Army, if you went to the maintenance pool, there was a round-the-clock dominoes game going on.
Yeah.
The maintenance section was always playing dominoes. Everybody else was playing spades.
We had a spades, a hearts, bridge, and poker game that ran for 178 days on deployment, never shut down.
Well, I believe it. I'm pretty sure that the Fort Hood maintenance depot at Fort Hood's got a Domino's game that hasn't stopped in 30 years. They just swap out players.
Yeah, and dominoes. Yeah, my family played dominoes at family reunions every year. Russian roulette Uno. Okay. Yeah, D&D is one I never played.
Oh, I love D&D.
I never.
Let me change. I love up to second edition and some third, but you get fourth, fifth edition. They screwed up my game.
Yep, they did.
Advanced AD&D, Advanced D&D, D&D second edition with the Unearthed Arcana addendums was great.
Whatever.
Was great. After that, they got stupid.
Yeah. Yes. And we have wasted another hour of your time, folks.
We have.
Thanks very much for.
Thank you.
Thanks for sticking around with us today.
Joshua, I was the dungeon master for decades. I was a DM for decades.
That explains so very much about you.
I started
In
DMing.
more ways than one.
I started DMing when I was 16 with the old red box, and yeah, 16. And I was DM'd up to my 30s.
Yeah, we played. Pappy and I played the real games. Thankfully, we never had to do what we were trained to do, but that potentially existed. We were the only ones that get to practice against our actual enemy.
I wouldn't say the only ones, but
Yeah, well, for versions of that, yes. Anyway, remember, folks, don't sweat the petty stuff. Don't pet the sweaty stuff.
y'all be safe.
Thursday at 3 p.m.
Central Standard Time.
Bye.
ADD's really that old. That's wrong.